Day 26 has arrived. That's also the name of the group from Making the Band on MTV back in the day. Y'all remember that? So anyway, today's Day 26 is talking about, the title of the chapter is Growing Through Temptation. We're all tempted. He makes some really good, relevant points, things I never really thought about. He talks about the fact that temptation doesn't come from outside of us, it comes from within. We're tempted by things that we desire, and some of those desires are completely natural, like the desire for companionship. Man was not created to be alone, so the desire for companionship is natural. Just so many other different desires that are natural, but the temptation comes in when we try to get those natural desires met in ways that aren't healthy for us. For instance, I can share a personal story. So we'll talk about the companionship piece. Like, I do desire companionship. And so I was talking to my therapist about an opportunity that was presented to me. And the opportunity was not a bad thing. Nothing bad. But my struggle and my issue was, is this what God wants for me? Or is this me trying to shortcut the system to get what I desire? And that is the ultimate, I think that's the ultimate struggle with temptation. We have the choice to fall into it and to get our needs met, sometimes in unhealthy ways, or we can make a decision to resist it. And he talks in this chapter about how this whole week is about growing to be like Christ. And one way that we grow to be like Christ, like I talked about the other day, is when we're faced with temptation. We're always going to be faced with temptation, but we have to make a decision to walk away. The story of Joseph in the Bible, he's at Potiphar's house, and Potiphar's wife is propositioning him. She wants his body. She thinks he's a hot young worker, and she wants to be with him. Joseph has a choice to make. He can decide to sleep with his boss's wife, or he can get himself out of the situation. I don't think it says in the Bible, I have to go back and read it, but I don't think it says that he wasn't tempted. He was tempted. I'm sure she was a nice looking lady, but he made the choice to leave. He ran. Sometimes you just have to run. But also, by the same token, giving in to temptation doesn't mean we're damned and we're going straight to hell. It is an opportunity, though, for us to see, well, why do I keep falling into this? What do I need to do differently? What kind of systems do I need to put into place? Because ultimately, it is a choice that we make when we fall into temptation. I'm not saying that it's an easy thing to walk away from those things that are tempting us. He does a beautiful job of giving practical steps that you can take to help you when you do face situations that are tempting. And this is just a brief overview of the day's chapter. I'm a fast reader, but I have to sit with it for a minute and come up with practical things that I take away from the lesson and that I can apply to my personal life. And that's why I always recommend you do the study for yourself, read it for yourself, because different things are going to stick out to you. Different things are going to permeate your mind, man. So that's all I have for day 26. That's Diddy's band and y'all today. I don't think I said this. Happy June. We are skipping on into the month of June. We're into June beautifully. Let me read the verse for the day, and then I have to get cracking. Long day. God blesses the people who patiently endure testing. Afterward, they will receive the crown of life that God has promised to those who love him. James chapter 1, verse 12. Also, side note, me and the Bible study girls, we were doing one of Beth Moore's Bible studies, and we were studying the book of James, and Beth challenged us to memorize the entire book of James. So anytime I see the book of James, I think of Tamika because she's the only one of us that really did some good memorization. And then when I hear the first opening parts of James, I hear her voice because I can hear her reciting it to us. So that's just a fun fact, fun tip. Have a great Saturday.